FedEx Cup scandal. Fans say Scottie Scheffler cheated before putting. The video proof. This isn't clickbait. It is a firestorm tearing through the playoffs. The world number one now facing an accusation that could change everything, and the proof supposedly captured on video. One viral post, two of golf's biggest names, and a reputation hanging in the balance. And honestly, the sheer arrogance makes me sick. Regular fans are spending thousands to watch these guys compete, yet the best in the world is allegedly engaging in behavior that has no place on the course. It is a country club sneer caught on tape, proving these spoiled athletes care more about mental warfare than sportsmanship when millions are on the line. The pure disrespect is unbelievable. But look past the outrage. This isn't about one player's ego. It is about something much bigger. The real story isn't the accusation itself. It is who made it, why they made it, and how a 10-second clip was weaponized to destroy a reputation. It is called the misinformation trap, and it is designed to make you believe the lie before you see the truth. Let me show you who is really behind this, what the video actually shows, and why the biggest scandal isn't cheating. It is how easily we got fooled. Personally, I think this is the sloppiest hit job in golf media. Do you believe there is any truth to this? Drop your take below. And if getting the real story matters to you, you are in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss what is coming next. To understand why this accusation exploded the way it did, you first have to understand where it landed. The FedEx Cup playoffs are not just another tournament. This is the PGA Tour's crown jewel, the season-ending battle where every shot carries the weight of millions. The first stop is the FedEx St. Jude Championship in Memphis, Tennessee, and the pressure is unlike anything else in golf. The FedEx Cup itself represents the culmination of an entire season of work. Every tournament played throughout the year feeds into this moment. Every point earned, every stroke saved, every victory celebrated. It all comes down to these three playoff events. The $25 million bonus that goes to the winner is life-changing money, even for players who have already earned millions. Scottie Scheffler arrived as the world number one, the man everyone expected to win. He had already locked up the top spot in the FedEx Cup standings, meaning the $25 million bonus was his to lose. The golf world was watching his every move, every swing analyzed, every expression dissected, every word judged. Scheffler had been having what some called a strange season. He had only won 2 tournaments going into the playoffs, but those 2 wins came with 5 runner-up finishes and 4 other top 5 results. He was consistently excellent, even when he wasn't winning. The golf world knew it was only a matter of time before he broke through again. Thursday morning came, and Scheffler did what Scheffler does. He went out and shot 61, 9 under par. He tied the course record at TPC Southwind, 5 straight birdies to start the round. The crowd was on its feet. The broadcasters were running out of adjectives. He was not just winning, he was dismantling the field. That round of 61 was a masterclass in ball striking. Scheffler hit 16 of 18 greens in regulation. He needed only 24 putts. It was the kind of round that makes you wonder if anyone else even has a chance. The rest of the field was playing for second place, and they knew it. But here is the thing about dominance. It creates enemies. Not on the course necessarily, but in the stands, on social media, in the comment sections of every golf page on the internet. When you are that good, people look for cracks. They look for reasons to tear you down. They look for anything that makes you seem human, flawed, beatable. There is a certain type of golf fan who cannot accept that someone is simply better. They need an explanation. They need a reason. They need to believe that the player who keeps winning must be doing something wrong. If Scheffler is just better, then what hope does anyone else have? But if Scheffler is cheating, then there is a villain to root against. And that is exactly what the accuser understood. That round of 61 should have been the story. It should have been the headline on every golf site. Scheffler just tied a course record. Scheffler just sent a message to the rest of the field. Scheffler just proved why he is the best player on the planet. The golf world should have been celebrating greatness. Instead, they were about to be distracted by something far less noble. But something else was brewing. Something that had nothing to do with golf and everything to do with attention. And the person behind it was someone nobody had ever heard of before. That round was supposed to dominate the news cycle. Instead, it disappeared. And what replaced it came from a place no one expected. The accusation landed like a grenade in the middle of the tournament. It came from an Instagram account called Old Row Longhorns, a name that meant absolutely nothing to anyone in the golf world. No verified checkmark, no history of breaking stories, no credibility whatsoever. This account had maybe a few hundred followers before the post went up. It was the kind of account that usually shares memes or reposts content from other pages. Nothing about it suggested it had inside information or connections to the PGA Tour. It was, by every measure, an anonymous nobody with an internet connection and an idea. But none of that mattered. The post went viral within hours. The account claimed that Scheffler had been caught on video doing something completely unacceptable during the round. They attached footage that they said proved their claim. They added subtitles that made it look like Scheffler was engaging in behavior that had no place in professional golf. The post was designed to look legitimate. It had a timestamp. It had what appeared to be broadcast quality footage. It had subtitles that seemed to match the movement of Scheffler's lips. To the casual viewer, it looked like a smoking gun. To anyone who paid close attention, the seams were obvious. The audio didn't quite match the video. The subtitles were slightly off. It was the kind of accusation that sounds explosive, designed to make people angry, perfectly crafted to spread like wildfire. And that is exactly why it worked so well. Within hours, screenshots were everywhere. X was flooded with debates. Reddit threads exploded. Golf fans who had just been celebrating Scheffler's 61 were now questioning his character. Was the world #1 really that disrespectful? Did he really cross a line that no professional should cross? The problem was, nobody stopped to ask the most obvious question. Is this even real? The post spread faster than the truth could catch up. But who was really behind that video? This is where the story gets complicated, because the video that Old Row Longhorns attached to their post was real footage. It was from the tournament. It showed Scheffler on the course. It even showed him speaking. But what it did not show was the accusation they claimed. The video was genuine. The audio was not. Somewhere in the editing process, the original broadcast audio had been stripped out and replaced with a voiceover that sounded like Scheffler. It was spliced together. Manipulated. A cheap edit designed to make it look like the world #1 was engaging in behavior that never actually happened. It is surprisingly easy to manipulate video footage. With a few clicks, you can isolate a person's face, extract the audio, and overlay whatever dialogue you want. The technology has become so accessible that anyone with a smartphone and a free editing app can create something that looks convincing. And here is the part that matters most. The actual footage they used was from a completely different moment in the tournament. It was not even from the Thursday round when Scheffler shot 61. It was from the final round on Sunday. The video they claimed proved Scheffler was guilty of something. It was actually footage of him losing his ball in the worst possible way. That Sunday round was supposed to be Scheffler's coronation. He was leading the tournament. He had dominated from start to finish. And then came the third hole, a par 5 that looked straightforward. Scheffler hit a beautiful bunker shot. It was perfectly placed. The ball landed on the green exactly where he wanted it. And then it hit a sprinkler head. The ball took a bounce that defied physics. It flew off the green. It rolled past the fringe. It trickled down the slope. And it disappeared into the water. A perfectly executed shot turned into a nightmare in less than 3 seconds. The broadcasters were stunned. One of them called it the worst luck you will ever see. Another said, "How does that even happen to the best player in the world?" Scheffler stood there. He watched his ball find the water. He did not throw his club. He did not scream. He just shook his head and walked forward. Later he would say, "When is this going to stop happening to me?" He made a bogey on that hole. His lead, which had been comfortable, suddenly shrunk to just one shot. The tournament was slipping away. The crowd was quiet. Everyone watching thought the same thing. This is where it falls apart. But Scheffler did not fall apart. That bad bounce almost cost him everything. But the world #1 had something else in mind. He walked to the next tee. He took a breath. And he did what the best players always do. He forgot about the water and focused on the next shot. The 4th hole. Birdie. The 5th hole. Another birdie. Suddenly the lead was back. And this time Scheffler was not letting go. The turning point came on the 6th hole. Scheffler hit a drive that was pure perfection. It split the fairway and left him with a short iron into the green. He stuck it to within 4 feet and rolled in the putt for yet another birdie. At that moment, the momentum swung back in his favor completely. Everyone in the gallery knew it was over. He finished the round with an 8-shot victory. 8 shots. The closest competitor was 8 strokes behind. Si-Woo Kim, who finished second, was never even in the same zip code. Sam Burns, who played in the final group with Scheffler, shot a 73 and said after the round, "Even if I played my best, I could not have beaten him today." That is what dominance looks like. That is why Scottie Scheffler is the world #1. He does not fold when things go wrong. He does not complain when bad luck hits. He just plays the next shot better than anyone else. Winning by 8 shots in a PGA Tour event is almost unheard of. The competition is too deep. The courses are too difficult. The pressure is too intense. And yet Scheffler made it look easy. He was never really in danger, even when that ball found the water. And yet, none of that mattered to the accuser. The video they shared was not about the 8-shot victory. It was not about the birdies. It was not about the comeback. It was about a 3-second moment that never actually happened. The video they used showed Scheffler looking at his ball in the water. They added audio that made it sound like he was saying something he never said. They added subtitles that made it look like he was engaging in behavior he never engaged in. But McIlroy was not even on the course at that moment. He had finished his round hours earlier. He was already in the locker room. The video showed Scheffler talking to himself, not to Rory McIlroy. The proof was fake, but the damage was already done, and the one person who could have stopped it was staying silent. Rory McIlroy said nothing. He had every opportunity to deny the accusation. He could have posted a simple message, "This never happened," but he chose not to, and that silence was weaponized by the accuser as proof that the story was true. But here is the reality. McIlroy was not silent because the accusation was true. He was silent because he had bigger problems. His own performance at the tournament was a disaster. He shot 74 on Thursday. He finished at 8 over par, tied for 66th. He was not thinking about Scheffler. He was thinking about his swing. He was thinking about the next tournament. He was thinking about how to fix what had gone wrong. After the round, McIlroy said, "I got more lost with every round." He was frustrated. He was confused. He was not in the mood to entertain a fabricated social media drama. And anyway, why would he need to deny something that never happened? Why would he waste his time responding to an account with no credibility, no history, no connection to the sport? McIlroy knew the truth. Scheffler knew the truth. Anyone who has ever watched these two men interact knew the truth. They are friends. They have been for years. In 2024, McIlroy gave Scheffler advice on his putting. He recommended switching to a mallet putter. Scheffler took the advice. He made the switch. And it worked. The two of them have nothing but respect for each other. So when the accusation came out, McIlroy had nothing to say. Not because it happened, but because it was beneath him to respond. Rory stayed quiet. But the people who know Scheffler best had a very different reaction. Sam Burns saw everything. He was in the final group with Scheffler on Sunday. He was standing on the 3rd green when Scheffler's ball hit the sprinkler head. He saw the disbelief on Scheffler's face. He saw the frustration, and he saw what happened next. Burns is one of Scheffler's closest friends on tour. They have played together countless times. They have celebrated victories and commiserated over losses. Burns knows Scheffler better than almost anyone else in the locker room. Burns watched Scheffler birdie the next 2 holes. He watched Scheffler build his lead back up to 8 shots. He watched the world #1 do what he does best, win. After the round, Burns was asked about Scheffler's mindset. He said, "He is the best in the world for a reason. Even if I played my best, it would have been impossible to beat him today." That is not the quote of someone who witnessed a rival engaging in unacceptable behavior. That is the quote of someone who witnessed greatness. Burns did not see an arrogant player. He saw a competitor who refused to lose. And then there is Si-Woo Kim. He finished second, 8 shots behind. He is also Scheffler's neighbor in Dallas. He sees him off the course. He knows what kind of person Scheffler really is. Kim and Scheffler share more than just a zip code. They practice at the same facilities. They play casual rounds together. Their families have spent time together. Kim has seen Scheffler in moments of triumph and moments of disappointment. He knows that the accusations being made do not match the person he has come to know. Kim never commented on the accusation. He did not need to. His silence was not confirmation. It was respect. He knows Scheffler. He knows what kind of player and person he is, and he knew the accusation was nonsense from the moment it appeared. The accuser never counted on the people who actually know Scheffler. They know the truth, and the truth is simple. Now let us get to the specific accusation itself. The claim that Old Row Longhorns made was that Scheffler had said something completely disrespectful to McIlroy. The exact quote they attributed to him was brutal. They said, Scheffler told McIlroy, "Rory asked me how to beat me. I told him, try shooting under par first." It was the kind of line that sounds like a movie script. Arrogant, cutting, perfectly designed to make people angry. And that is exactly why it spread so fast. But here is the problem. There is zero evidence that this conversation ever happened. No one else heard it. No one else confirmed it. McIlroy himself never acknowledged it. The only source was an anonymous Instagram account with no credibility. Think about how absurd this is. If Scheffler had actually said something like that, there would have been witnesses. There would have been microphones. There would have been camera angles. Professional golf tournaments have more cameras than a Hollywood film set. Every word spoken on the course is potentially captured, and yet, no one else confirmed this supposed exchange. And the video they used to support their claim, it showed Scheffler losing his ball in the water, not talking to McIlroy, not taunting anyone, just reacting to the worst luck of his tournament. The audio was fabricated. The subtitles were invented. The whole thing was a lie. This is not the first time Scheffler has faced an accusation of cheating or poor sportsmanship, and every time, the evidence has been flimsy at best. In 2024, someone tried to claim that Bryson DeChambeau was cheating at a tournament. Scheffler was asked about it. He could have stayed quiet. He could have let the rumor spread. Instead, he defended DeChambeau. He said, "He is definitely not a cheater." He went out of his way to protect a rival from a baseless accusation. That is who Scottie Scheffler is. He does not tear down other players. He builds them up. He respects the game. He respects the competition. He wants to win because he is better, not because he played mind games with his opponents. And that is why the accusation against him was so absurd. It went against everything he has ever shown himself to be. It went against his history. It went against his character. But the accuser did not care about any of that. They cared about one thing: attention. They wanted clicks, followers, and the fame of bringing down the world #1. And they almost got away with it. The truth is that the video proof never existed. The video showed bad luck, not guilt. The audio was fabricated. The accusation was invented. The whole thing was a lie designed to destroy a reputation. And yet, it worked. It spread across the internet. It made people angry. It divided fans. It turned a celebration of great golf into a debate about sportsmanship. That is the real scandal. Not Scheffler's behavior on the course, but the willingness of so many people to believe the worst without checking the facts. To share a video without asking if it was real. To attack a player based on nothing but a few seconds of edited footage. The accuser knew exactly what they were doing. They understood the power of social media. They understood that outrage travels faster than truth. They understood that by the time the truth came out, the damage would already be done. And they were right. The video was debunked. The audio was exposed as fake. The accusation was proven false. But how many people saw the debunking? How many people saw the correction? How many people shared the truth with the same urgency they shared the lie? The lie went viral. The truth went unnoticed. And that is the real tragedy of this story. So what actually happened at the FedEx St. Jude Championship? Scottie Scheffler dominated. He shot a course record 61. He won by 8 shots. He locked up the FedEx Cup bonus. He proved once again that he is the best player in the world. That is the real story. Not the accusation. Not the video. Not the drama. The real story is that the best player won. He won because he is better than everyone else. He won because he kept his composure when things went wrong. He won because he refused to let bad luck define his tournament. And the people who tried to tear him down, they lost. Their video was exposed. Their accusation was disproven. Their credibility is gone. But here is the part that should bother every golf fan. The people who believed the lie did not lose. They kept watching. They kept sharing. They kept attacking. They learned nothing. They will do it again the next time a video appears that confirms their biases. That is the world we live in. A world where a 10-second clip can destroy a reputation. A world where outrage is more valuable than truth. A world where a fake accusation spreads faster than a real victory, and the only defense against it is to demand the truth, to ask questions, to verify before you share, to refuse to become part of the machine that tears people down for attention. Scheffler did not cheat. He did not mock Rory McIlroy. He did not say anything disrespectful to anyone. He played golf. He played it better than anyone else, and he walked away with a trophy, a check for $3.6 million, and the satisfaction of knowing that the truth always catches up to the lie. The accuser? They walked away with nothing. Their account is gone. Their credibility is destroyed. Their moment of fame is over. And the video proof? It never existed. Honestly, I think the real scandal here is how fast people believed a lie. Do you think social media is making it too easy to destroy reputations? Tell me below. And if you believe the truth matters more than the outrage, you are exactly where you need to be. Subscribe and stay for the real stories.